Shalom, shalom, everyone. Welcome back. As I stated, I know I'm kind of late behind, about an hour, hour and 30 minutes behind. But I wanted to take that conversation a lot further, but there was things I had to take care of real quick. But I really wanted to, what is that? To get back into what's going on, because truthfully, my encouragement is this: that I do not want us to get caught up in the conflict that this world has blatantly put itself into. It has blatantly put himself, well, it was already prophesied, but they're speaking very boldly. And they're doing some very boldly things, not to be having that power any longer. The threat of the US dollar and the threat of other nations are looking at the action of this so-called brave and a bold country. They're more so bold than anything else, because truthfully, without weapons, there's no such thing as bravery. They got to have a gun in their hand in order for them to make a stand. And this is the world in which we live in. Well, this country, rather. What do everybody do? I mean, even in the movies, what is this country known for? Guns. If there's any if there is any altercations at schools, it always involves a pew pew. That's what it involves, off the top. And that's what that's what this country is known for. Pulling out a disagreement, gun. Small things, arguments, everybody's looking for that weapon of choice. This is what this country is known for. And we, truthfully, it's not our fight. There's a time when we do, what's the word? We do voice an opinion. We do. I mean, we just built that way. When things are wrong, when things are dead wrong, we do speak up. And we know for a fact when people are dead wrong, we speak up. We do. I don't care whether it's a police officer or whatever. We speak up. Shalom, Sister Monica. We speak up, period. We do. We don't hold back. Because we know, matter of fact, if you are of a Negro descent, you can tell when someone is talking to you, when someone is talking at you, you can determine everything about that person. You can determine whether that person is prejudiced or not. Because we've been dealing with it for so long till we can call an ace and a spade a spade. We just got that gift of doing that. You can't sit up here and tell me that these brothers and sisters are off. I know I can't say that because what? I'm a Negro too. I've seen them do things. I heard them say things. And they don't have to say a word in order for you to determine what that person is about. We do not. Now, this escalation, it would appear that this, I don't know if this is what they was calling themselves trying to push, was to get some type of conflict started between the African Americans and the Spanish community. If they were, I'm not surprised. But then at the same time, they say, no, we didn't do that. But it just happened to work in our favor I don't put nothing past them. Nothing. As I was saying earlier, that jealousy, brothers and sisters, is going to escalate. Let's not misunderstand misunderstand this. That jealousy is going to climb. It's going to climb. And it's just not going to start with the Latino community. It's not going to start with them. People are about to go, they're about to feel what we've been feeling for hundreds of years. The only thing different about them, their forefathers was not hanging from trees. Their baby was not fed to alligators. Oh yes, you can most definitely, you can feel it in the air, Sister Monica. It's in the air. It's in the air. But this time, Sister Monica, this time is different. I would say our approach. Because you do have brothers and sisters. No, they're not shedding a tear. One Spanish guy got on and called black people lazy. That sounds just like what the Gentiles been saying. Other people been saying. They always calling us lazy. But why don't they just start looking at one thing? No, it ain't the fact that we're lazy. It's the fact that we woke up and we became smart. It's not that we was dumb. There was a measure of there's a measure of ignorance that we played. When I say we played, we played. We played like we didn't know. If you want to put a person on a pedestal, act like you don't know something. Oh, they feel like they're the smartest thing that walked up on this earth. And that's the biggest pimp that you can ever have, is the one that's playing you, making you feel or think that you are here, but in essence, you're so beneath that person, it ain't even funny. And if you did start off at the top, you're going to end up at the bottom. What do? We learn. Plain and simple mechanism and start re-engineering it in our minds. And we start to put it on paper. Then we start making a reality out of it. And a lot of us did that. Go look at the history of our forefathers. The vehicles, GPS. Why is all this stuff coming out, brothers and sisters? Why is all this stuff coming out now? Why is everybody bursting out of the seams? Why is Black History, although this is supposed to be the month for us, but the government is not recognizing it? All right, no problem. Do you think we're going to lose any sleep over this? We Black every day, all day, not just no 1 month. And I'm like, what is it? They thought this go break a bone in our back or something? That's the craziest things. We're not built like that. We're built stronger than that. They come off talking all to be affected with this man's, I would call it a tyrant, but it needed to happen, brothers. His action, it needed to happen. That is a must of what he's doing. We take a couple of steps back. In order for the Most High to act, some actions has to take place, and it may put us in a compromising position. But these things, they got to happen. It got to happen. We just can't sit back and think, all right, this is the place where we're going to spend the rest of our lives in a generation after generation after generation. No, the Most High did not say that. Everything is on a time, has a time and a date. Everything. These are the last days live. It seems like every day there's something that this government is doing, that this nation is doing, and then it gets everybody's attention. Then here come this, then here come that, here come this, here come that, here come this, here come, and that's what it is. Until eventually, this government is going to get to a position. It's going to get to a position to where their lives is going to be on the line. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, like I spoke earlier, the jealousy is going to happen. They're not going to look to the government because the regular people, they're the one that's asking the government for answers. That's what they're asking. But they're not getting those answers. They're not. Matter of fact, they're getting a cold shoulder, if anything. Who do you think they're going to go to when the government is not giving them answers? As a matter of fact, the government is the one who's causing the trouble. They go fall back to the that's what they're going to do. Well, how do you all do this here? This is one of the reasons why I said it's best that we get into being self-sufficient, because this stuff is it was on the horizon last year. Let's call it last year. It was on the horizon. This day, it's not the horizon. They have woke up and they're shining their demonic action all over this place. Till they're talking about South Africa. Now over there, the Gentiles, the whites, still are occupying stolen farmland. They still occupying it. They still holding on to it. See, it seems like it's going to be one of those Malcolm X movements. By any means necessary. So now they're talking about doing what they need to do. This is going to be one time things are not going to go. It's not going to pan out the way they wanted to pan out. They can't even get now. They're having a difficult time of getting these what do they call it? These coups started now. Like the brother said, hey, back in the days, the states used to get they used to get their own people to take out their own leaders. They knew this. They used their economic powers to work against a particular person. They knew get a local to take them out. I don't know why in the world this thing keep doing that and just jump on what you call by itself. But anyway, like I was saying, minds are changing, governments are bracing it up, and I'm speaking about Africa. That's what I'm speaking about. Now I'm not speaking about all these other places because they're in some they got their own set of problems. In these other countries, They're talking about fighting back on these so-called tariffs. That's what they're doing. And so now they're not worried about the average American. They're not. They already got their mind set up on how this is how this is going to. This is how this stuff is going to get down. Yeah, some people are not going to be eating. Yes, we're gonna mess with some people checks. We're gonna mess with some of their disability checks, some of their social security brothers and sisters getting used to it. That's what's about to happen. I ain't gonna say get used to it. I would say prepare yourself. Because they're already pushing buttons. And once these buttons are pushed, ain't no going back. What is this world known for? They're known for getting nonsense started, run into the mountains, and then get started. And then when the dust settles, they want to come out the mountains as if they are new explorers to what they already got started. And then, hey, we need to clean up over here. And walk in as if we come in peace. They did the same thing in Rwanda. Had the Hutus and the Tutsi killing one another. This is their history. And they wonder why the world is pissed at these European lands, because when it's all over said and done, it's going to go to one particular group of people. I mean, 2, 3. But they're all European lands. This is what's happening to this world. And you got some of their own European people upset at their action. Because this is what they're known for. They recognizing the rise of a new kingdom. Now, I may be over dramatic, but it is the rise of a new kingdom. Let's just break it down a tad bit. They're upset at the rise of a nation. And we can break that down too. They're scared, afraid of a coming together of a people, a uniting. That's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. Their power. Why can't France just go? Why can't the president of France just go back there and visit with the brothers in Africa? He knows for a fact that it'd be very dangerous. It'll be foolish on his part. So he sends somebody to represent him. And I don't even think they can send a representation now. They didn't push too many buttons. Just like the West has pushed too many buttons. But when you've been used to arrogance all your life, and you've been used to taking all of your life, that arrogance, privilege, mindset, you just can't drop that like a cold habit. You can't. You're seeing a lot of these little Gentiles getting on TV crying about their jobs and not having money. The ends, they live from paycheck to paycheck. We did all of that. We did it. This hatred, let me just go it this way. This hatred that was laced all upon us. It's all upon them. It's going. It ain't slowly either. I'm not gonna say slowly but surely. It's moving. And in their own action, their own mouth is doing it. It's doing it all. They're doing it all by themselves. That's what they're doing. They call themselves making a distraction, and the distraction are for themselves. They're not seeing the big picture because, hey, We're like on the same totem pole. And the same people that they think they're in bed with is the one who's setting them up for the kill. You you brothers and sisters don't think that they're not watching this media feed, what's trending. I forgot that sister's name. I think she's part of Congress, and they said she was a newbie, but then she went off on some people and started setting them straight. I forgot that sister's name. I was looking at her earlier today. That woman slapping people down like it ain't no thing. She called that lady. She said she a blonde something, but built. Oh, but what she said, I was like, oh my goodness, she just tore her up. She did. It's happening. These are the things that's happening now. We're not as dormant as they think we were. You can go in there and say, you done away with the civil rights. What? We see that from a mile away. Brothers and sisters was calling that out. What? About 2 years ago? Come on now. We called that. We seen that from afar. We keep on moving. Yes, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to get harder. It is. And you will have some of these all so-called COP want to assert their authority, or misguided authority, that is. But trust and believe, they're going to mess with the wrong one day. And it's going to get things set off. It's going to happen. I mean, it does not make sense for us to think that we're going to continue this way. You think what those brothers and sisters in Africa doing, the brothers are doing there, the leaders? They tired. Everybody that has caused any type of mayhem, coups, things of that nature, it all has only a group of people who's been doing that globally, playing the bully. And once that bull or that bully neck is snapped, boom, everybody gonna be on a mad dash trying to get power, except for one group of people. Everybody else is going to be in a mad dash. A lot of them going to take blows. They're going to take, what does the scripture say? Partly strong, partly weak. Some of those 10 toes, at least 5 of them going to have to be weak. They're going to have to be weak. Because in the book of Revelation, it speaks about how Babylon is going to be destroyed and how it's going to give its power over to the wild beast. It speaks about that. And this is what we're living right now. This is the end. This is that time in which we're living in. This is that time. And my thing is like I said, I just do not want us to get complacent with this rising of a nation that they fought tooth and nail. Man, I mean, hundreds of oh, you ain't gonna amount to nothing. If you pick up that book, it's against the law for you. You'll go to jail. Whatever. They tried everything up under the sun to hold us down. And they still holding on to slavery. They holding on to that. They holding on to it. The punishment, or I ain't gonna necessarily call it punishment. The way, well, I would say it this way. I would say it this way. These policemen nowadays, they feel that they have a power. They have an orange Jesus that's standing there for them. They do. They feel that they got that. And so they got in their little bitty minds. And we can say and we can do anything to them. Hey, we got 4 years to do this. In their little bitty minds, they got 4 years to do this so that they would not get time. You do know that you cannot be tried on the same thing twice. And for those ones that's out there that's just hell bent on hating you, they out there. Yeah, they nursing their hate. But the more they continue to hate you, they have their own nation that's hating on them. And their hatred on them is going to be a whole lot more deeper than the hate they're going to have on us. It's changing. They're not seeing that. They're not believing. They're not believing this. Once reality has given birth to it and it's full bloom, it's going to be on and it's going to be popping. That's what it's going to be. But my encouragement to brothers and sisters, stay firm. Things are moving. And for you brothers and sisters out there that's dealing with some type of sickness, listen, brothers, this is my encouragement. Whether it's some type of physical ailment like cancer or something, or it could be mental. You may be that brother or sister who's talking about suicide or thinking about suicide. Try your very best to have a conversation with the Most High each and every day. If it takes all that, have that conversation. And do not think that he is not real. He's real. Because the only person that's in your ear right now, and especially if you're talking about suicidal tendencies, that's going to be the devil. That's that one who don't care nothing about you. Recognize that and hold on to that. I've seen some friends just take their lives because of that. Have a conversation with the Most High each and every day. Find that one person that you can talk to and just let loose. Because you got somebody else in your ear and you really need to get that person out of it. These are some trials sometimes, and whatever the devil can push upon you, he's going to push it. However he can get it and get inside your life, he's going to get inside of it. Whomever he has to use to get to you. And first and foremost, if he's in your ear, you must be doing something right. You must be doing something extremely right. That he do not like what you're doing. Because one, ain't no love coming from the devil. Everything that he wants is out of self-gratification. It's strictly for what he wants. Something that he could take and apply it and hand it back over to the Most High as if he did something. I've seen brothers and sisters battle with depression, battle with it, till they get to a point it's like, man, I just need to go ahead and end it. And I'm like talking, no, let's not end it. The Most High did not give you life just for it to just go up in smoke. He did. And well, But I was talking to my friend, and I was encouraging him. And we all go through these stressful times of some depression and things of that nature. That's the thing. I don't know why this phone keep on popping on and off. But anyway, the things I have seen and the people I ran up on, I come to realize when it comes to brothers and sisters that's battling that, there's something that they went through that has traumatized them. And it's easy for a person who's not in that position to say, oh man, you just need to get over it. It's easy for you to say that. But this is me. If you got that on your tongue, well, you don't need to open up your mouth. And you may have went through the same thing, but this person is built different. We all not the same people. We got a different personality. We take things differently. And to tell somebody just to get over something, brother, that's insensitive. And especially in this particular time in which we're living in. We're seeing end times happening. Whether the end times is happening and you see a crumbling system, trust and believe the devil is just as busy as all get out. When he's seeing his kingdom being taken apart piece by piece, he's busier and busier trying to get to you or anyone that you know of. This is what he's doing. Individual could sit there in their bedroom all day long due to depression. The best thing that you could ever possibly do is encourage them each and every day. And it may work your nerves, but you be that stronger individual for that person because you don't know how that will turn back around and work in your behalf. Because that person may get over that depression. And the first thing that person is going to remember is your encouraging words. That's what they're going to recognize. We're going to have patience more than ever before, brothers and sisters, when it's all over said and done. We're going to have to start taking ourselves out of the equation. And there will be times where we're going to have to maintain faith, not just for yourself, but for your brothers or sisters. Maybe your mothers or fathers. Maybe your grandparents. We will have to buckle up, buckle down, and keep it moving. Because now, like we always said, this is a spiritual battle. This is where we stand at right now. This is a blow for blow battle. A blow for blow battle. When it comes to brothers and sisters that's dealing with different types of sicknesses like cancer, brothers, my encouragement is this. Do not let cancer become your God. Although the Most High gave us a will to live, He gave us a will to live. You do your best on taking care of yourself. And for those things that you can't take care of, the Most High got you, as long as you do not put another God before His face. He's a very jealous God, Elohim. Very jealous. You do your part, he's going to do his part. And if he allows that disease to sit there and just to be stagnant or whatever, he will. And at the same time, give you life each and every day for you to enjoy your life. As long as you do not make anything or put anything above him. Did not the scripture say he is the source of life? Believe that. Know that. I've seen some brothers and sisters coming in. So I seen some I knew one brother. He had they told him he had cancer, right? You know the first thing he did? This is what he did. He stopped eating food. He started scrutinizing food. When he started scrutinizing food, he said meat was one of the things he had to scrutinize. He started seeing all the chemicals that they was putting in these meats. Now, mind you, the doctors told this brother that he had 2 years to live because his cancer was aggressive. He said, okay, no problem. But he kept on doing what he's supposed to do. And as time went on, he started drop weight and all that stuff and things of that nature. But let me tell you something. His dropping weight was nothing to do, had anything to do with that cancer. Because he changed his diet. He started fasting. He started fasting a lot. And he started, looking into some herbs and things of that nature. Because one thing he maintained that I want to do. He said, man, the people that told me I got cancer, they flesh and blood. They're not gods. They're not gods. He said, the moment you thinking that they're gods, you starting to put the Most High secondary, and you putting these people front and foremost. And that's what he seen when he came to different brothers and sisters. Because if you like what he would do, he would tell other brothers and sisters about this particular herb and things of that nature. That fell on deaf ears. It fell on deaf ears when this brother here, he said this and said that. What I knew he was telling the truth. I knew about some of the herbs he was talking about. My own mother was she'll go and tell some brothers and sisters the same thing. They do not listen. They believe everything these doctors says. And listen to me, brothers and sisters, when I tell you this, every last one of them suffered. Taking the same medicine and going to get chemo and things of that nature. They suffered before they left out of here. Brothers and sisters, if it do come your way, look at it with the Most High first and foremost. The scriptures clearly states, the leaves are for the curing of the nation. Now, if we don't think so, he's already telling you, the cures are out there. It's out there, brothers and sisters. Now, whether you want to believe the Most High or not, that remains to be seen. Or if you choose not to believe, you're setting yourself up for failure. We cannot put no other being or doctor or any type of chemical medicine first and foremost before the Most High. He has given us his assurance, and we always saying it's impossible for the Most High to lie. Hold on to that. Shalom, Sister Pixie does. Yeah, since I supposed it came in at 12, I was running behind. But this is where we stand, brothers. There was a brother, and he was about to have surgery because he had cancer. He had prostate cancer. And he was bent over. And he was walking bow-legged. Now, if you any brothers and sisters, brothers that knows about this, even sisters, you know why he was walking like as if he was bow-legged. He said he couldn't let him make a mistake that his testicles touched his leg because it was just that much pain. But he was getting ready to have surgery. He did not want to have it. He did not. But somebody had told him about me. And he said, so we talked. And I said, yeah, so and so. Yeah, he told me you had I said, no, I ain't never had prostate cancer. I ain't never had no, I don't know where he got that from. And so he was like, oh, he told me to call you because you know some stuff. And I said, yeah, I do know the stuff. Mm-hmm. And I told him about it. I told him how he need to use it and things of that nature. But brothers, if y'all think I'm joking, I specifically told this brother, I said, man, look here. You take this much amount, you take this amount, the rest of it you add water, or you add water, and the rest of it you add like olive oil. And I told him what he needed to do with it and everything. So, and I specifically said, for the strength of this particular liquid, do not use it directly on your skin. That's what I told him. I said, it'll burn you. And so, but he was in a mad dash to use it. So he ordered it. He got it. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. This brother was in a rush, and he used it without breaking it down with water. He gonna talk, man, my God, I used this stuff, bro. It's burning me up. I'm like, bro, ain't nothing you could possibly do. I told you not to. He said, man, I'm sorry, but I just, I'm like, man, all right, hold on. I said, hang it up. You could be raw for at least a week. I said, yeah. You swole up too, right? He said, yes. And it's hurting me. I said, it's supposed to hurt. I told you not to, I'm kind of laughing at the brother, truthfully. I'm laughing at him. I said, bro, ain't nothing you could possibly do is sit there and let it heal up. I said, but trust and believe. You ain't gonna have that surgery when the swelling go down. When the swelling go down, you could be straight. That brother in like a month. No, not even a month. Not a month. I would say in maybe 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Call me back. All his pain was gone. All his pain was gone. He was standing up. He was standing up. His, because process, you kind of have you bent over. I don't know why, but they had him bent over. He was standing straight up, and he went to the doctor. And the doctor said, "What did you use?" And he was asking, so what do you mean? He said, "Your levels, everything is the infection, the cancer." It's no longer there. I mean, it could be in remission, but we need to run this test here and run that test there and do it. He said, run the test then. He said, what he told the doctor that he changed his diet. I'm very adamant. Don't tell nobody what I said, because I think, they'll come back and try to use it against you. So, but shalom, Brother Dave. So what happened, they ran another test on, found out, yeah, the cancer is gone. So what had happened, he told, no, I changed my diet. And yeah. And he changed his diet, all right. But he ain't had a cancer no more. See, these are the things. This world is not going to tell you, brothers and sisters, about a lot of things that can be cured. They're not going to tell you because you're messing with their money. You're messing with their money. Yeah, majority of you brothers and sisters know Dr. Seeley. You know what he did. And what he said about the certain herbs and things can do this and do that. He was messing with the nations. He was messing with the Gentiles' money. You're right, Sister Monica. It's always hallelujah. It's going to be that way. When you trust in the Most High, you can't help but give him glory, because he's telling you what you need to do. Hey, you got this, you can be healed. It's when the doctors throws their mental godship upon you, and they use fear. There's a measure of fear that they're going to intertwine into your head in order for you to listen to them. Because what? You're a money-making machine. You're a money-making person now. That's what you are. That is exactly who you are. they are looking at you what the Most High is trying to lead you to. This is what the Most High has always been saying. Some of the basic stuff out there, brothers and sisters. Can help. I forgot. There was a. There is Echinacea. That's what it's called, Echinacea. But this sister, she's from Belize, and when they said that my son had asthma, I was like, what? You know, I heard him wheezing and everything, and I took him to the hospital, and they gave him a pump. They go, see, yeah, he's asthmatic. Man, you talking about a Negro upset? I wasn't upset at my son. I'm like, man, it was the steroids that they gave my son over the weekend. My son was, oh my goodness. My son was so bloated, brothers. I mean, it was like instantly he gained like 30 pounds. Face all puffed up. I was talking to my sister, and she said, no, that's what happened, because she was asthmatic. She said, it does that to you. Oh, and so I said, no. My mentality was not living. So I called this sister I knew on the south side of Chicago. And she said, no, Mike, I got something for that. So I drove out to her house. She gave me a small bottle. She said, Mike, use this. This should last your son for like 2 weeks. And she told me, squirt this here, in his mouth for a week. I did that. And then she said, you come off for a week, then you go back on. But it didn't take my son that long. My son was running up and down the halls and everything without losing his breath and things. So that I'm like, okay. So I seen that. So what I did, I called the sister back. I said, sister, let me just get the big bottle just in case, he come down with chest cold or whatever. At least I have a big bottle. And what I did, I got the big bottle and I put it in a dark place, because it was in a brown bottle already. So I knew it had to, the sun, it didn't need to be in the sun, put it that way. So I did that. So now, mind you, a whole month went by. A whole month went by. My son did not have an episode, period. And I, when I heard him wheezing, at the onset, when I first got the medicine, that's the only time I would give him that pump. Outside of that, no. But after a month, he didn't need it. I took him back to the doctor. I took him to the doctor. The doctor was like, Mr. Mike, we want to run another test on your son. So they did the x-ray of his, his chest and thing. And she said, what do you do? I said, no, just change his diet and things of that nature. And she said, whatever you're doing, keep it up. I'm not going to prescribe him. And she said, but no, you know what she did? She prescribed him like 2 more inhalers. She said, just keep one in the truck and one in the house, just in case if he needs it. That's all it's for. That's all she prescribed it for, because just in case. And I mean, I agree with that. I understood that. But as time went on, I went downstairs. I lived in a high-rise building. And his security guard was talking to me how he had to rush his daughter to the hospital because she had an episode. Now her asthma is so bad that she can run from the living room to the kitchen. She got to get on the breathing treatment. That's how bad she was. She couldn't run around like the rest of the kids. So I was telling them about the stuff I had, and I did the same. I went and grabbed a small bottle, gave it to him. 2 weeks later, he came back to me and said, man, give me some more of that stuff, Mike. Give me some more of that stuff. He said, man, My daughter, we took her, he said, man, in like 3 days, he took his daughter to the playground, him and his wife, because they could not believe how she was running up and down in the house playing and everything. That was the first time she ever went outside and played with other kids without without having an episode. Brothers, it's out there. Don't be scared to do research. There is help for our conditions. Don't be putting these other gods before the Most High. Cancer, whatever it may be. It's out there. Do not let these doctors bully you. When I say bully, I mean bully. Because they'll be the first one to tell, oh, you got to be careful. You don't want to mix your herbs with this medicine. And that's true, too. That is absolutely true. Because 9 times out of 10, the drugs they give you for cancer, they got a measure of herbs in it. If you think I'm joking, brothers, you got the medicine. Look it up. Ask Google. What type of herbs are in this particular medicine? And it's going to bring out every last one of them. And if that herb is in your medicine, that's the herb that you need to go get. It's called common sense to me. The rest of it's chemicals. And 9 times out of 10, the herbs is going to help what it needs to help. But that chemical is going to do some other damages somewhere else. It's going to do that. You heard people say that they taking antidepressant pills and things of that nature, and then in the footnotes said will cause heart attacks, strokes, and it will cause you to have suicidal tendencies. That's a biological chemical, truthfully. If when it's all over said and done, that's what that boils down to being. Shalom, Sister Yvonne. That's what that's going to boil down to being. A biological chemical that they're prescribing to you. They ain't got to drop it. All they got to do is prescribe it to you. They have my nephew on this medicine called Ritalin. And my mother was talking about this medicine. She said, I don't know. She called me one day. She said, I don't know. But ever since he been on this medicine, she said, Michael Ray, it seemed like this boy's growing breasts. I'm like, huh? And this is what my mother's saying now. I'm saying this. I'm like, and I'm saying to my mother, you sure? She said, I'm serious. It look like he's growing breasts. So I got behind that computer and I started doing my research, right? Kind of find out it increases your estrogen level in men. And he was growing breasts. And I could not believe it. And I called my mother back and I told her, I said, no, you need to get him off of that. Take him back to the doctor. And my mother took him back to the doctor. She said, yeah, and when the doctor seen my nephew, he knew exactly what my mother was complaining about. He said, he just told her, come in the room. He said, I know what you're complaining about. He's going to breast. The doctor said, we've been getting that complaint a lot. He said, but this is what they giving these kids. Brothers, I'm telling you, this system, it does not care for us and it's not looking out for our welfare. But we, upon whatever illusion, they think that they can be trusted. Yes. And it changed my my nephew's body. I mean, what? And because he even got concerned. He said, and he took me, he said, Grandma, it seemed like my something wrong with my chest. I think my nephew was like 8 or 9 years old. And all the medicine did was made him tired throughout the whole day at school. And the teacher was complaining that he was sleepy. Oh, dag nabbit, if you got a medicine, you tell me he got to take it in the morning? And he going to school? and he's complaining. He's telling you this is how he feel. But they was, brothers and sisters, do you know they were trying to put my son on some medicine like that? Your son, he's very hyper and so on, so this and so on. I like, yeah, he'll burn it off. And that was my mentality. He'll burn it off. My son got so depressed with these people telling him how he was bad and everything and all that stuff. My son was not bad. He just loved playing he was playing. And my son at that time, my son was like 4 years old, 5 years old. And pre-kindergarten or something like that, preschool. And these people came to me while I was at the school, my son. They wanted me to come down there. And now we suggested you put him on some medicine so he can be able to concentrate in school and things of that nature. Shalom, Sister Doreen. Doreen. And I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen. I'm not putting my son on nothing. He's not. He's going to burn it off. He's going to grow up just like any other normal child. And the good thing about it was my son's doctor. She said, Mr. Aiken, stick to your guns. Do not let these doctors start putting your kids on this medicine. See, because this medicine is not built for kids. And just so happened I was leaving. And I never forget this. Me and my son was walking out from the doctor. No. We were sitting in the doctor's office. And this white lady and her daughter. Oh man, I feel so sorry for that. That is her daughter. She was bone skinny, sitting there like a knot on a log, just sitting there as if she was posing for a picture, not moving. And I said, hey, little lady, you okay? And she just looked at me and she smiled a little bit. She dropped her head back down. And the mother said, oh, she's not feeling that good and so on. So around her, the rim of her eyes was red. And the mother was saying, she said, yes, we had to she can get her medicine, get it increased and things of that. I'm saying, good night. The girl look like she like a walking zombie right now. And you trying to increase her medicine? I'm saying this to myself. But I come to understand, not understand, but to see how people are quick when the doctors tell them something about their kids. They think the doctors are telling them the flat out truth that it was given from them in a dream. They're quick to put these kids on medicine because they say, oh, they're hyper. If you can't keep up with a child, you don't need to be in their business. We quick to forget for where we came from. Very quick. And these doctors, they come in and say this stuff, and it's always going to be these little black kids. That's always will be the one to say, oh, he's ADHD. And you're right, Sister Monica, it's all about that money. And unfortunately, a lot of our sisters fed into it. Oh, you can get a disability check. This is the first thing, the second thing that comes out of these doctors' mouth. If we diagnose him and we saying he this or she that, yeah, you can get a disability check. That's all they needed to hear. I know a lot of sisters that did that. And truthfully, there was nothing wrong with those kids. They just need to go outside and play. That's it. That's all they needed. But some of us are put our kids in some very dangerous positions. That's what we have done. And it could be for the love of money. At least when I've seen some sisters that did just that. My son's mother tried to do the same thing with him. But when I got custody of him, I'm like, no. He's not taking that medicine no longer. And I'm just so thankful to the Most High that He gave me custody of my son when he was 4 years old. Because that's when it started. When he tried to put all the, I'm not doing that. I went down and I changed all of that paperwork. Because see, now, brothers and sisters, don't get it twisted. When you start putting those labels on your kids, that nonsense travels with that child. That's what it does. Don't be scared of the things that the Most High has created, brothers. Just trust and believe. These doctors, they know exactly what chemicals work with this and what chemicals work with that. And this chemical has this effect, that chemical has that effect. They know these things. They know these things. They're not worried about you. They worry about how they can control you. We have always been the guinea pig. And so now when you start thinking and you start waking it up, you start to say, you know what? I'm going to linger more so on the herbal side. Why do you think they study us so much? If they not into your business, trying to figure out what makes you tick and think, they trying to get inside your body. They're trying to get inside your blood. How is it that we sit up here and did these people still continue to live? Yeah, you're right, Sister Monica. They playing that Frankenstein mentality. Now you come to understand why people say we are more human than anybody. Do you see blacks around here breaking people down, giving them? No, we not built that way. We're not. Oh yeah, you're right, Sister Doreen. The school, they make money off of it. And you mean, at the same time, since I be asking myself, how in the world is the school making money off of these kids with these so-called disabilities? I just don't understand the mechanism of how they intertwine that, but everybody seem to have their hands stuck out because of a child disability. I tell you, it is absolutely ridiculous to how they got these things set up. Now, although we're living in the time of the end, we should not let our guards down. And not just for our kids, for ourselves too. For ourselves too. They got a lot of, when I got back from Dar, I went to the grocery store. Since I've been in Dar, I got into a habit of just cooking every day. I did. I got into a habit of just cooking every day. So I brought that back with me. And go to the grocery, and I'm looking for, I'm like, man, good. I'm used to seeing a chicken breast about the size of your fist, your hand, a fist. That's the size of a natural chicken breast in Africa. I get here, the chicken breast is like about the size of let me see, 4 hand size. 4. And I'm just saying, man, look at all that chemical in this nonsense. Look at this chicken breast. That's all I'm just looking at this stuff. And I'm saying, and they wonder why brothers and sisters are sick. They pumping these chemicals into it, and then we turn back around and we eat it. I remember when they first started doing the steroids in chicken. It was the little kids. It was the little girls, the little black girls first and foremost, who was affected by that stuff because they start building out at the age of 13. I never will forget that. Never will forget it. Let me tell you something. I'll be satisfied myself once I get my, get my stuff together, and I'm back out. Cause this here, they can keep it. And I just happen, just for me to come back and hear all this nonsense that Trump got going on, I'm like, oh shucks, I just had to sit there and get my butt back up in here in the mix of this nonsense. But there are meats. Well, Sister Monica, I was going to say 7, because I was going to say 7 because at that time I was like 14, 15 years old, and I'm looking at my cousin, and I'm like, "Good man, I'm thinking she's." I'm saying to myself, I know this girl's 7. I'm like, "What's going on?" They said, "No." The mother said, "Oh, she's just feeling out." She was telling my mother this and everything, and I'm like, "No, we don't feel like it that quick." But that's what happened. That's what happened. Now, they tried to introduce that chemical in Africa about like 2 years ago. Some people was trying to use it, but then people, then the natives like, this is a chicken breast, and it was that big, and it raised concerns to them. And then plus the price, it cost too much money, so they were like, no. And that's the only thing that kept them from eating it was the price of it. And so they went, they bought the normal chicken. But that's what they were trying to do. Well, I'm gonna say trying. They still trying to push it. They trying to mimic um, everything the Most High put in place. That's what they're doing. They're trying their best to mimic everything. They're trying their best to get rid. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. If the world has been trying for years to get rid of us, what makes you think that they were not trying to get rid of the Most High? So now, in order for this world to get rid of us, who do you think they need to try to get rid of first and foremost? They started to recognize this, Israel. They started to recognize, well, we need to get rid of him, their creator. That's who we need to get rid of. If we get rid of him, they're going to automatically drop dead. This is their line of thinking. This is their line of thinking. These people literally believe that they're going to be, well, they are. They are going to be fighting against the Most High. That's the whole purpose of Armageddon. Where Satan would gather the people from the 4 corners of the earth. And like I said, when he goes to the 4 corners of the earth and maneuver them to come up and fight against us, all of Judah would be back on that continent. So when he's out there gathering the nations, not one of them is going to be of Israel. It's going to be them coming upon Israel for this final and last war. Yes, they want his throne. They want every last bit of his throne. And if they can get rid of that, get rid of him, well, brothers and sisters, you know for a fact we ain't going nowhere. You already know we're not going nowhere. And where the Most High goes stand and where he's going to sit is where he's going to stand and where he's going to sit. There is no end to our Creator. None. Satan is going to tell his last and final lie. That's what he's going to do. He's going to tell his final lie that's going to maneuver these people to come upon us, and they all go get laid down. Yes, they go keep our brothers. You know, one thing I would say about that, Sister Monica, and this is one thing I got to give the brothers and sisters right for the last, what does it say, 2 weeks. I haven't, or at least I haven't seen it. I haven't seen no nonsense about brothers saying this about this brother or that brother. I haven't seen anything about that. But yet the devil has came in and has so many odds and things of that nature, and it's got to a position that certain things just left alone. When you don't answer, do a reply to certain things, hey, leave it alone. But this is where we at, brothers. You know, we're here to encourage one another as we see these days come to its end. This government is going to continue to do what it's going to do. Yeah, they're going to, trust and believe. They want to push buttons. That's what they want. They're trying to see what buttons can they push that can get us to react, so that they can say, well, we had to do this to them because they this and they did that. But it's not going to work that way. It's not. Why is this like, I forgot the percentage of, they said how much we were in population. Why is it so important that this country concentrate on us so much? That question, truthfully, should be coming from the average Joe that's out there. Why is the word? Why is it? Why is it that the United States always have something against these African Americans? Once the world start asking that question, once they start asking that question, because that question gonna have to come with some answers, and it's not gonna be those little long-winded political shenanigan answers, which in essence they never answered the question. They always bring the question back with a question. That's their gift of how they maneuver out of a question, how they can maneuver out of a lie. They taught that. They taught that, how to do that. They got a gift in that. We're here to encourage, for us to continue to press on. That's what we're here for. Because we're going to have our brothers and sisters that's going to be dealing with some type of sickness, whether it's mental, or it could be like cancer. We should concentrate on that, brother and sister. Help them first and foremost. Now, let's get into the matter of fact, just speaking of somebody in Tanzania, and the brother was telling me that his wife has she had malaria, and she's been battling it for like 2 weeks. I mean, when you get malaria, brothers and sisters, it puts you down. It puts you down. I knew one sister, she was burning up so bad, she had me sweating. Her whole room was hot. And I was like, are you joking? And it seems to me that sisters like the sisters suffer a lot more with malaria than anything. And please, this is the rainy season right now. And I know one brother's name is Sahidi. Him and his wife, they just had a baby. A baby she was like 2 months old. It's very dangerous for a 2-month-old to be caught up in um, the rainy season, because they get a whole lot of rain. Because then when like now, they say it's hot today, but it's when that water sits in that puddle for an extended time. Mosquitoes come by. If that baby gets sick, that baby's in the hospital off the top, in the hospital, period. And majority of the doctors there are Indians. And don't say something wrong that they don't like. Yeah, the baby needs this particular medicine. They would not prescribe that medicine to that baby. Seen 2-year-old kids go in there with what did they call it? When you're full of your chest full of mucus. The baby's chest was full of mucus. That baby died. 2 years old. Don't get it twisted, brothers and sisters. I know a brother right now works in Louisiana hospital, and that brother he's some type of nurse, but he's very high end because he got nurses working up under him. And he told me some stories of how doctors do not give a lot of attention to the African Americans. And he's seen people die right there on the table. It ain't just him. His sister said the same thing. It's like there about 1, 2, 3, 3 of them. I'm sorry, 4 of them are in the medical field. Very high-end nurses. One is a X-ray technician. The baby girl, she's an X-ray technician. And they would tell you things. They seen how they let people drop, and die. My niece, she was 13. She got hit by a car. Hit her, threw up in the air, and she landed back in the back windshield of this car. It was like a Z28 back in the 90s. So they took her to the hospital and things of that nature. And this is in Pine Bluff. And I hate that hospital with a passion. I never did like this hospital. Never did. Because it seemed like you go in there for one thing, you end up dead for something else. So they had my niece sitting out in the hallway, on the whatever you want to call whatever the thing they call for when they on the stretcher, put on the stretcher. Yeah. So she was sitting there. Her brother, he was there. He was like, "Can we get some help here?" Because my niece was moaning because she was in pain. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. It be your own people who took up the attitude of a Gentile. But this woman came out not knowing that her brother was like sitting so far, so many feet away from her. And she came out all hush up with all that racket. "We know you hurt." Oh, he cursed her out fluently. He cursed that nurse out fluently. He cursed her out fluently. And then his sister died. She sat in that hallway for 30 minutes. His baby sister, whom he has always known of taking care of, she died right there while he in the hallway. Tim was like, I think Tim was like late teens. But I knew my niece, she was 13. Our struggles, brothers and sisters, is our struggle. That's what it is. Whew. But it had an effect on us. She was the first one out of our immediate family to die. She was. But it's just to say, just to show you, brothers and sisters, our reliance upon the Most High is first and foremost. It's first and foremost. When the Most High says, He tells us to take away, get rid of Babylon out of our system, He means that in every form, shape, whatever it takes for us to get rid of it. We got to get rid of it. Whatever disease they come back and tell you that you may have, brothers and sisters, do research upon it. Go in deep on it. Talk to some herbalist. And first and foremost, and then you turn back around and rely upon the Most High. I'm doing this here, Most High. I'm doing that there. I'm sticking to the herbs and things of that nature. What the brothers and sisters are saying, and see that the Most High is not good. We are living in trialsome times. This is that time where we have to show our reliance upon the Most High. This is a must. I'm telling you, this is where we need to be. Well, Brother Saint, Saint, let me tell you what happened to me now. When I was a child, the only reason I got into herbs, it was because of my mother. I don't even, where's Hamburg, Arkansas? I mean, I never heard of that before, Sister Yvonne. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in Little Rock right now, but my property and everything is in Pine Bluff. But brother, Saint, the only reason I got into it because of my mother, and I got what it was. I got hit. I was playing baseball, and I got hit in the face with a hard ball, and it busted 3 arteries. It was like around my eye and my nose, but it busted the arteries in my nose, and I was in the hospital for like, let me tell you something, bro. I lost so much blood going to the hospital. It wasn't even, no. It was the next day I went to the hospital because my nose would not stop bleeding, And so when they took me home and I first got hit with the baseball, all right, it stopped. But as the day went on, and then I got up in the middle of the night. I was the only one in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for like 30 minutes, about 15 minutes. And so I went in and I told my mom, I said, my nose won't stop bleeding. And my mom, she got him, turned the light on, and seen I had a big towel. The big towel that you dry off with, it was completely bloody. My mom said, boy, go put your clothes on. And she, now she got me scared now. And then when she got me scared, what do you think happened? Oh, my nose was bleeding. It was bleeding a whole lot more. So my mother went in the kitchen, and we had, this pitcher that we used to make Kool-Aid out of. It was a big pitcher. She said, hold your head over this here, over into this pitcher. And so I just kept my head, in the pitcher. And then I started to see blood clots come out. And it's trying, so my blood was doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to clot up. So I'm seeing these blood clots, but they just coming out of my nose. Just keep coming out, keep coming. And so now so much blood was coming out of my nose, I had to start breathing out of my mouth. Then they go say, Mike, hold your head back. Now this is when the neighbor, she comes in because she heard the commotion. We lived in a project. So she said, oh, baby, hold your head back. And so I held my head back. Now I'm choking now. So they said, hold your head back forward. So I put my head back in the picture. So I got down to the car, and I mean, we riding down to the hospital. And I asked my mom, I said, what do you want me to do with this here? My mom looked over, she said, She seen all that blood in that picture. She said, because I mean, it was running over. So she said, oh, Mama said, toss it out the window. So I tossed the picture, not the picture, but I poured all that blood right outside the car. And then by the time I got back to the hospital, it filled right back up. They took me into the emergency room. And the doctor said, we got to do an emergency on him real quick. They said, hey, they did an x-ray and they find out that I had busted 3 arteries. I'm trying to figure out why in the world I was still living, but I was getting lightheaded. I was, ooh, you talking about somebody was getting lightheaded. Ooh, yes, I was. So they said they had to do emergency surgery. So they gave me anesthesia and knocked me out. I was gone. They told me to count to 100. I think I got to 10. And, so the oh no, I wasn't taking blood thinners. No, I was let me see. At that time, I think I was like 13 years old when that happened. Yeah, I was 13 years old. But the doctors, they did something. They put this thing down my throat. I thought they went in and stitched up some arteries or whatever. I don't know what they did, truthfully. But I know my nose kept on bleeding. And then the doctor came back in. He said, look here, and told my mother, if he keep on bleeding like this, we're going to have to give him blood transfusion. Because I was losing a lot of blood, even in the hospital, especially when it was like sleeping time. My nose would bleed. And so what had happened, it got to a point where I didn't even get up. I just let it bleed in the bed. And the nurses was they coming at, they see a big old blank stain of blood. And I got tired of going to the bathroom, standing up over the bathroom for 15, 30 minutes. I just laid there in the bed, had a towel or whatever, and that was my MO. And so whatever the doctor did, it was not really truthfully doing any good for me. So my mother got into these herbs. She started, talking to different herbalists. And there was one particular herb, and I forgot what it was, but my mother, and it had sulfur. It had something to do with sulfur. And she told me, you take this here. And so I started taking that there. And every time my mother would bring something in, I would take it. And so it took, truthfully, it took about a year and a half for my nose, artery to heal up. It did. It took that long because I used to get lightheaded because I was losing a lot of blood and things. And when I get lightheaded, I just sit down, calm myself down, and things of that. And then I go right back to playing or whatever. But I knew exactly what to do. And on that note, sis, I'm glad you said something about prayers. Can you, brothers and sisters, keep also keep Sister Kathy Jones in your prayers? I meant to give her husband a call. Probably do it once I finish this live and see how she's doing. But yes, so let's just keep them in our prayers. And so that's how I got into the herbs and things of that nature. It's because I got busted 3 arteries, and I've been doing it ever since. And whatever's out there, I look into it and think. But just to be on that continent, when I was there, and they knew the leaves out there that they knew what leaves was good for this and what leaves was good for that. They knew it when they looked at it. Because I call myself go pull stuff up. No, you need that. You get sick or whatever. And I was like, wow, you for real? They told me what it. And I mean the mango leaves. The mango leaves, it's good for this here. The papaya leaves are good for this here. I'm serious, brothers. Y'all you look up these things. The mango the mango leaves, the papaya leaves. What else? The lime leaves. All of those leaves are good for something that we need. And if you and it's just like you go through all these different types of leaves, you come to find out that hey, you go start building your own little library of what it is good for, what is good. Here to do this here, it does that there. This is where we're from, the earth. Yes. Soursop. That now the soursop, they saying that, and they saying that there is very good for cancer. That they do. And now, like like you don't necessarily have to have a problem with. They should be using it. Period. And that's hydroxide. That's what it's called. Or you may some people call it peroxide. I'm gonna say hydroxide. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that. It's because I do not get the 3% that you get at the store. The 3%, it's okay for brushing your teeth with. It is. And it's also good for if you get malaria. You know, you take your little squig with some lemon juice or something and you drink it. It's peroxide. But it's best that you have the food grade. The food grade, and also with the food grade, you need to eat a piece of bread or eat something before you drink it by itself, because it's pure oxygen. That is absolutely what you're drinking. Is pure oxygen, and whatever infection that you have in your bloodstream or in your body, it's going to attack it. If you think I'm joking, look it up. It's pure oxygen. And if you do hydroxide and then you decide to order it, I would do well, you can do, Amazon sells the 10%. 10% is pretty strong. It is. You can take a bath and then and hop on a treadmill. You will be running for 20, 30 minutes. But do not use it at night. It gives you too much energy. It's pure oxygen. You're not going to go to sleep. It's best to use that in the morning. It's best to use it in the morning. But that is pure oxygen. And the research have shown, and like I said, brothers and sisters, I'm not no doctor. Look it up. It is difficult for a disease to live in a well oxygenated, how did they say that? A body that is full of oxygen. It's difficult for any disease to live in it. This is the reason why you had Dr. Sebi talking about alkaline. That's one of the reasons why he was talking about having a very high alkaline diet, because of the oxygen. I'm telling you now. Brother Dave know about it. He looking at it. He's saying it. True facts. And so I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, especially you brothers, you don't necessarily have, like I said, have to have prostate cancer. You don't. But if you're taking hydroxide, me, myself, I deal with the 33 grade, 33 to 35% grade. That one has to be, you got to add water to it. It is extremely strong, but it's food grade. And you only go mess with drops. But like with some brothers and sisters, they take a cup full of it and they pour it in their bath water. All it needs to do is get into your pores. Now, let's say, Vincent, you're a brother or sister, you want to turn your hair red. It's that peroxide that would do it real quick. I'm talking about instantly, overnight. It's red. No chemicals, just the peroxide. It's pure oxygen, brothers. It's pure oxygen. But this is it, brother. I mean, Whether a brother or sister is going to believe you, that remains to be seen. Because truthfully, when it's all over said and done, you just giving out from what I experienced, you may experience, and using this what worked for me and things of that nature. Hey, we pass that information on. Hey, Brother Saint, you must have been doing some very good work. You must have been doing some very good work, because this is what we got to get used to, brothers. We got to get used to this. If we don't, here in the United States, man, they're always talking about two of this, 2 burgers for this amount with large fries and everything. And that's that stuff that's killing us. That's that stuff that's killing us. I'm serious. Ever since I got back to here, Arkansas, and I was talking to my brother, I said, man, everybody here is so big. I'm like, and then the more I drive around, I'm seeing nothing but buffet restaurants. It ain't like they cook like they used to. No, restaurant, Chinese restaurant, buffet restaurant. KFC is a buffet. But if you go in and you do the research and find out what diabetes is the worst, it's all the southern states where our people are located at. Think about that. If you I went and I looked this stuff up. And so they gave all the red dots. And when I could say the southern states, southern to eastern states is lit up in red of a heavy concentration of diabetic people, individuals. And it's among us. It is highly among us. I tell you, brothers, although we may be on the rise, we still got to maintain our physical sense. We still have to watch what we eat. We do. If you know for a fact we need to drop weight. Fasting is not an easy thing to do, brothers and sisters. It's not. I'm not going to sit up here and let you believe that fasting is easy. It takes some discipline for fasting. One day I can go what? All day. Some days it just feel like I just can't do it. It takes discipline. To which, truthfully, brothers and sisters, we need to be practicing that. We need to be practicing that like we breathing. Some days you fast, come off your fast, go on to a fast. If you fast for one whole day, when I say whole day, I'm speaking to the next day. You're strengthening your body. The more you do it, the stronger your body's going to become, because you're going to tell your body exactly what to do. Your body don't tell you what to do. You tell your body what to do. But the more we fast and we practice it, the stronger we become. Because truthfully, when it's all over said and done, brothers and sisters, that fasting is going to work in your behalf. We already know what man is talking about doing. He's trying to use food as a gimmick to maneuver us to do what he wants us to do. But when you used to fasting, you say, no, I'm good. When your body is used to fasting, you ain't got to bow down to nobody. You ain't got to be forced down, because you have put your body in a position where you can go on days and days without eating. And now this is the thing. But when you fast for the sake of the Most High, he's going to be with you then. He's going to be with you. Did not Yahushua? He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. What makes you think? He just gave us the example that it can be done. Because what was he doing? He showed that he was reliant on the Most High. That's how he ended up fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. And I say 40 days. He fasted and 40 nights. That's what he did. It was an example for us to follow. Put ourselves in that position. And mind you now, and I'm not sitting here and trying to, what's the word? Discourage you. For some, it's going to take time to do that. For others, it may not. But when you fasting, and especially if you made a vow to the Most High, He expects you to uphold that vow. So be careful of what you make into the Most High, because He expects, once you make that vow, He expects for you to let it vow out. Do you vow that you're going to fast for the day? You fast for that day, from sunrise to sunset. That's that day. Shalom, we got next. So now you made a vow that you want to fast that day and that night. So you looking at a 24-hour fast. If you make that vow to the Most High, that's what He wants you to make. Now, if you made that vow to yourself already and you fell short, you're not responsible to the Most High. But when you directly make that vow to the Most High, He expects you to live that up. He do. He do. But that, like I said, that fasting in the time in which we're living in, and especially the area in which we live in, it's going to prove valuable for us in the very near future. That's if we still stuck here. But practicing and always thinking about fasting, it's always going to start in the mind first and foremost. And if you got to do it in baby steps, take it in baby steps. Be mindful. You tell your body what you're not going to do. I'm not going to eat until this particular time. And you hold on to it. You hold on to that. And you start strengthening yourself up. And because truthfully, what you're doing is you're fighting to put your body in line. You're fighting to put your body in obedience to you. That's what you're doing. Because your body goes, oh, I'm hungry. I want the burger and fries. That's your flesh. This is the reason why the Most High said He want individuals to worship Him in spirit and truth. Because truthfully, brothers, when you fight against the flesh, all you doing is bringing that spiritual side up and out, and first and foremost, that's what you're doing. You bringing the spiritual side first and foremost, and not that flesh. When you can dominate that flesh, oh, you are good to go. You are good to go. You are in a privileged position when you can dominate that flesh and let that spirit reign supreme. That's the beauty of that. This is the reason why I said it's not going to be an easy thing to conquer, because we used to feed into our flesh. Because what do the devil do? The devil, all he wanted Adam and Eve to do was to feed into their flesh. He wanted them to destroy that spiritual side, to which he got that. And then Adam and Eve, they started having kids. And the longer we went on in life, the more we got trapped up into our flesh. And we've seen that just amongst our people, and how the Most High dealt with His people. They was worrying about who was the greatest among them. Moses, you ain't the only one the Most High talk with. Jealousy was going through the camps. That's that flesh, brothers. And so when we get ready to go into this wilderness, brothers and sisters, yeah, we're going to have to start fighting against that flesh if we want to be going up under the rod. Because that's what it's going. You're not going to take that flesh in first and foremost. That spirit will have to reign supreme. That spirit will have to reign supreme. That's going to be your ticket to life. It's what you're choosing. But if you want that flesh, first and foremost, you will get knocked back with that rod. We're on the incline. We're rising. Along with this rising, we got to start pushing off things. And then one thing, well, the Most High right now, we have to strip off Babylon layer. It's that flesh. We got to remove that flesh from us. And we're going to have to bring forth that spiritual side of us. It's going to have to be first and foremost. And the more we practice that against our flesh, brothers and sisters, we're good to go. As long as we continue to put the Most High first. That's the beauty of this. This is the beauty of our struggle. This is the reason why the Most High said we are a set apart people. Because he wants us to abide by the Spirit. We've seen what the flesh can do. It reaps corruption. That's what the flesh does. I mean, you seen, well, hey, you brothers and sisters see it. Movie stars and all that, they around here drinking, getting high. That's that flesh. That is that flesh. And we've seen the corruption. We've seen the corrupt side to it. The livers are shot. They deal with so many different ailments because they wore their body out. That's what living with the flesh can do. And you don't have to be a movie star to experience that. You can be broke, busting, and disgusted and still have bad health. Eating all the wrong foods. McDonald's, all that stuff. We've seen that. We've seen what it can happen with that. Eating all this processed foods. So no matter whether rich or poor, that flesh don't care. As long as you feed me, that flesh, whatever I want. That's the problem. The more we fight against that flesh, brothers and sisters, the stronger we're going to become. That's a given. That's what the Most High is saying. Because you go put your flesh in check. Your flesh don't put you in check. And that's what the Most High is telling us. You tell your flesh what to do. He gave you that power. He gave you that authority. But with a lot of us, we gave that authority over to the flesh and we abide by the flesh. We put ourselves, not only are we in captivity, brothers and sisters, we are in captivity within ourselves. Let's start to dominate ourselves, our flesh. It's a battle, but it can be done. It can be done. Like I spoke about earlier about brothers and sisters that's going through mental issues with suicidal tendencies. Brothers, fast. When you fast, you take a whole lot of chemicals out of your system. You take a lot of stuff out of your system because you'll be surprised, brothers and sisters. And even when it comes to brothers, and maybe brothers and sisters may be taking some medication for depression or suicidal thoughts. But once you start to fast and you start taking these chemicals, whatever chemicals is in your body, whether it's from the foods, you're going to start seeing that stuff come out your system. Because we do know for fasting, it does clear your mind up. And if it clears your mind up, it's telling you there was something that was inside your body that was causing you to have that little foggy feeling. That's just that food for thought. That is that food for thought. If you think I'm joking that your flesh is not strong, tell yourself you're going to do a fast tomorrow. Tell yourself, if you think I'm joking that your flesh is not strong, brothers, I will put every last one of you up a challenge. If you think your flesh is not strong, tell yourself that you would not. I will start me a fast from sun up to sundown. If you can't do sun up to sundown, do sun up to 3 o'clock. You will see how your flesh gonna start talking to you. Your flesh would look here, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You may go in there and get you some water, and things of that nature. Okay, it'll work for a moment. But your body's gonna start talking to you. I want something to eat. It's going to be demanding. Brothers, I'm telling you, dominate your flesh. Dominate your flesh. We're in captivity twice. And this is something it's something of the devil. It is. He knows it. But if we're going to have a singular captivity, let it be here in the land that's not ours. But let that not be of our flesh. Because that's a double. That's a double captivity. We trapped inside our flesh, and the flesh is telling us what to do. We are enslaved to the flesh. I'm serious. You're doing it. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, brothers, I do the fast. I do. There's some days I'm like, oh, man, I'm gonna get some meat. I already told myself I'm gonna do a fast. Then I give in to the flesh. But but like I said, there are some days I can go, bro. I can go all day long. But for me, it has to be on the regular, because I'm telling you, I'm trying to come out of this captivity. Because I recognize my flesh don't tell me what to do. I tell it what to do. I'm going to subdue the flesh. That's what I'm going to do. This is where the Most High put every last one of us. Sister Melody, Saint, Sister Monica, Sister Yama, Brother Dave, all of us. He gave us that responsibility. You dominate your flesh. That's what he's telling us to do. That's the captivity we can rid out. Then we only got one captivity to concern ourselves with. That's it. But when you could dominate, I tell you, when you could dominate that flesh, brothers and sisters, there is a power I don't even think that we can understand once you realize that. And especially living in a country that is bent on controlling us with food. And this is the thing that blows me away, brothers and sisters. When Shalom, Sister Patricia, when Yahushua was saying, do not be overeating, heavy drinking, and that day instantly be upon you. Brothers and sisters, truthfully, I never thought anything about that little small scripture. And I say little and small because it went in one ear and out the other. That's what that scripture did. But now when you go back and you start looking at the scripture, now you're like, oh, it has some weight to it. He specifically told us, and this is Israel that Yahushua is talking to. Do not be overeating and with heavy drinking, and that day be instantly upon you. All he's saying is, don't allow your flesh to supersede you. and you lose, and this day come upon you. He said you should have that spirit first and foremost. You're right, Sister Monica. Deadly sin. This is what he's telling us. This is what he's telling us at this time of the end. It's for us to pay attention to that. Now, you may, brothers and sisters, you may know some brothers and sisters that may be a tad bit overweight. Truthfully, no, that's not the way of the Most High. It's not. Because I can almost guarantee you, if we can just have a picture of our forefathers, well, we do. What's that book that Russia has that was showing out some of our forefathers and everything? They would. Did you all when they did the I forgot when it's Yahushua and his disciples sitting at the table, not one of them looked to be overweight. Not one. Why is it that the devil deemed it or seen it to use overeating as a gimmick against us? The Russian icons. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. If you look at those pictures, brothers and sisters, and then truthfully, if they did do any depiction of biblical of our forefathers, they was never a fat people, because their diet was not like that as the one we have. The nation, that could have been a different story. They ate everything. They ate everything. The laws that are for us was not applied upon them. And they're right. That was to keep us in sin. And now, mind you, now, brothers and sisters, I'm not going to sit there and call nobody fat, or you shouldn't be fat or whatever. I'm not saying that. Because you got some, you can have, I knew this one brother. He was a stout brother. But that brother worked out each and every day. He didn't eat the foods that a lot of us eat, but he was just like a stout brother. It's not always what you see in a person. But a lot of us know that, hey, if you're conscious that you need to drop weight, trust and believe. Or eat better, that's somebody, that's not your flesh that's saying that. That's not your flesh. Your flesh saying they want to eat. That's their spirit. And once you start giving into the spirit, the better off we're going to be. The better off we're going to be. They always say that the American people are the biggest people, the fattest people. And to a degree, I'm leaning more so towards that. But I tell you, brothers and sisters, let us continue to abide by the spirit. Take the captivity of the flesh, remove it out of our equation. And the more we do that, we're going to get strong. That spirit going to get strong the more we continue to practice that. And that's when the Most High blesses you for that. He knows what's in your head. He knows it's that spirit. He knows that. And he blesses that. Because that spirit is going to help you in the very near future. You may find yourself not in that wilderness too long, because you abided by that spirit, and the Most High recognize that too. Come on in. Come on in. And for those that's still going to be battling that flesh, yeah, you got to remain outside until you conquer that flesh. That flesh is of who? Satan's system. That flesh, the reason why you battling that is something that was intertwined with Adam and Eve. And you have to show where you stand. You're going to be flesh, but that flesh going to have to take a back seat to that spirit. Brothers and sisters, keep your head on a swivel. We're living in the last days, and let us continue to encourage one another. Let it be first and foremost to what we need to do, and that's care for our brothers and sisters and pray for our brothers and sisters, and always be on the watch. Stand firm, keep your spirit strong, and supersede that flesh with the spirit. And with that, brothers and sisters, I would say shalom, and Yah willing, I was talk with you, brothers and sisters, tomorrow. Take care.